Therefore, in Parshat Nitzavim, actually, the Ari mentions it here in Parshat Nitzavim. He says, how many curses were there in the world? How many curses are there in the Torah? That the Torah says, how many curses? 98. 98 curses. 98 curses. Why 98? Not 100, not 94. And he goes on to say, Kol ha'onesh hu b'shvil p'kam yesod. B'sod cherev nokmos nakam brit. Why did God put 98? It's a heavy number, 98. You know, if there were klalot, if there were 47, that's not a big number. Got to go up to 98. And he stops at 98. And the Ari says that these klalot are for what reason? What does it mean, klalot? God wants to curse us. I mean, a game, cursing people. No one is permitted ever to curse anybody, even for a justifiable reason. A klala should never go out of our mouth. Never go out of our mouth, because the extent of that curse, who knows how far it goes. But God can write curses in the Torah. I mean, he's allowed. He sets a bad example. Chas v'shalom. If we think in terms of as curses. Says the Ari, and only because what the Ari says do I understand it, and he mentions it here, and all the 98 curses are not here in this Parsha of Nitzavim, by the way. It was in last week's Parsha we had. Remember? We had last week, and we have in the Vayikra, part of Vayikra, and part in Kitavo. And the Ari puts it into Nitzavim. Why does he put it here? Because as I said this morning, and for those of you who don't know, but Parshat Nitzavim that we read this morning always precedes Rosh Hashanah. Always. And therefore we have all those added advantages of the Lamed and the dots and so on. The reason the Ari mentions and explains what klalot mean, it doesn't mean curses. It means the result. It is punishment. God doesn't create punishment. He never created punishment. What God did in the way of klalot, when he was mentioning that, look, for your negative activity, know that you affect the whole of the cosmos. And there are basically 98 forms of negative activity. 98 forms. Then there are subdivisions of those 98. And when we create, or when we initiate negative thought and negative activity, no, says the Ari, you're affecting and contaminating the whole of the cosmos. And therefore, it's Sach, Tzaddik, which is 98, but also means cleansing. That, in Pasha, he moved it over to Parshat Nitzavim, which is just before Rosh Hashanah, indicating to us, and from there we know, that we should do this Slichot before Rosh Hashanah. Not how would we know?